Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, I'm laughing because this is actually take two. Everything's been as quiet as a mouse around here, and as soon as I hit record and started doing the video a minute ago, Graham had a sneezing fit. Anyway, he's better now. He's had a drink of water. Firstly, hello to Lisa and her daughter in Ireland. That was a special request. The Invictus Games Foundation. I read all your comments on the video yesterday. Loads of brilliant comments. There were some Meghan supporters, shall we call them that, with their various theories. So I thought I'd go through some of the theories because I've been looking at the Invictus Games Foundation on Companies House. It's a registered limited company, limited by guarantee. I've looked at the directors of that company, which I'll read out the names to you. Harry is not one of them. Meghan is not one of them. Okay. And I looked up their registered charity, and I've been on their website again this morning, and still there is no mention of the Invictus 2022 games. Now, to put this video in a nutshell, I'm quite frankly sick of being gaslit by public relations people, by PR people. I'm sick of it. And it happens more around members of the royal family than anyone else. People rewriting history, people changing it. And then I'm sitting here, I don't know about you guys, and I'm thinking, that's not how I remember things going down. That's not what I remember. I mean, yesterday I was like, did the games actually happen in 2022? And a lot of you were like, maybe they didn't. So a lot of you are being gaslit as well. But yes, they did. They did happen. No, they're not listed on the Invictus Games Foundation website. They're not there. I cannot find them. I'm here in Spain. Perhaps they're visible from other countries, because, I mean, a lot of you, I put a link to a magazine the other day, and loads of you in the UK said, not allowed in my country. Now, I don't know if that's something to do with GDPR or data or whatever. That brings me to another thing. I've been meaning to mention this since last year. Don't you bloody hate when you go on a website, you just want to read something quickly, except cookies. And the website takes long enough to load as it is. And it's not my Wi-Fi connection because we've got Starlink. It's like Grease Lightning. It's their website. And they have to wait 100 years for their, when you allow cookies. Oh. And I go on like 100 websites a day just to do a bit of research. And every flipping one I go on. Anyway, that's that rant over and done with. So some of the points that you guys made in the comments yesterday, that Invictus is slower to update their website than the royal family. I'm not sure about that one, because the games in 2022 happened in 2022 at The Hague. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the year 2022 is in the past. It has happened. So presumably there would have been a mention of it on their website before, but there isn't now. So to me, that's something that's been deleted, been removed. I find it very hard to believe it was never there. And one of you guys said you'd found a link to their website, 2022 Games in The Hague. When you clicked on it, it said page not found. Now, I really hope that person can send me a screenshot, because that's incredible. I find this incredible. The 2022 games didn't happen. A lot of you said that. You know, maybe they didn't happen. They did. Meghan and Harry sat in a couple of little toy cars. She looked quite pissed off about it. She got up on the stage in the white top, just like Princess Diana was wearing on the cover of, I think, one of the books about her. She introduced Harry. It had the Invictus logo in the background. You know, it happened. It happened. But now, I mean, a lot of us feeling that maybe it didn't happen, but it did happen. Perhaps it's just an error on their website, because I have found other errors on there. It's quite a big error though, isn't it? Somebody said the 2022 games are listed on their website and Meghan is on the homepage. Not here in Spain. She is not on the homepage of Invictus. Definitely not. When you go to the 2023 games, there's a picture of her there from when she attended the 2022, because the 2023 games haven't happened yet. They're in the future. You see, public relations these days is just, let's see how much dog shit the public will swallow and accept. And the reason they don't like us all talking on the internet is because we point out all these inconvenient mistruths, and then they've got the gall to call us disinformation, misinformation. Now, as I've said many times before, I may be full of shit. I'm not an expert and I don't purport to be. You can check out anything that I say and come back and tell me if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll do a video and say I was wrong. How many newsreaders, how many journalists do that? How many celebrities do that? Go, oh, oopsie, I got that wrong. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Can you? Netflix owned the rights to the 2022 games. Well, yeah, I mean, I sort of casually said that at the end of the video yesterday. I don't think so. I don't think so. The Heart of Invictus, I looked it up on that IMBD thing, was made by 3 production companies: Violet Films, Grain Media and Archwell Productions, or Archewell, however you pronounce it. A production company has a camera and a cast or a crew, and they go and they film something. When they film something, it doesn't mean they own it. Not even Netflix. I'm sure people feel like they're signing their soul away to the devil when they sign up with Netflix, but I don't think Netflix are quite that almighty powerful that they could say to a registered, limited by guarantee UK company and a registered UK charity, you can't show anything to do with the 2022 games because we are Netflix and we own it. I just don't think so. And I have worked with TV production companies. For example, the production company that did Too Posh to Pay, they rented a place in Brighton Marina. They do not own that bar in Brighton Marina. They rented it for a few hours to interview me. When we had to do the walk down the seafront, they had to ask permission from Brighton Council, and Brighton Pier was in the background. They do not own Brighton Pier. They couldn't call Brighton Pier up and say, we own you now, turn your lights off, don't let the public in, you now belong to ITV. I don't think it works like that. I really don't. And I bet Netflix are deeply regretting backing a 3-legged camel such as Meghan and Harry now. I mean, as far as PR goes with that woman, what she really needs is I know you all think that the Ari Emanuel is going to save her bacon. I have a feeling he's going to become a long line of dead bodies beyond dead bodies that have already happened that go, yikes, I'm never touching that chick again. What she really needs is, back in the 80s, we had a thing, well, I don't know if it still exists actually, a nuclear power station called Sellafield. And they did a TV campaign, adverts. It was genius. They had this sort of wholesome, loving family that went to Sellafield for a day out. Now, I mean, I'd be fascinated to see how a nuclear plant works, but at the time in the 80s, people were paranoid about nuclear war, nuclear power plants blowing up. You know, there was a bit of a doodah in the Ukraine. I think we all remember that. Went poof. Not Sellafield. I don't say that, Fiona. Chernobyl. So people, you know, it was at the height of it. People were really, really frightened. We didn't have the internet. We were relying on journalists to tell us the truth. And this genius PR company made it look like a day out at Disneyland. I don't know which PR company they were. Maybe some of you guys would remember. That's what Meghan needs. A PR company that can make a nuclear power plant look friendly. I mean, it's hopeless. It's hopeless. I can't see any coming back. Lisa, and her daughter, I mentioned at the beginning, very, very kind, went on Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account, not that I'm aware of. And she got some pictures that a superfan had put up of Meghan and Harry at that Beyonce concert. And thank you very much for doing that, Lisa. That must have taken a lot of time and trouble, because I know I don't think she has Instagram either. So, but the pictures that I saw, and I won't put them up because I'll probably get copyright from whoever it was who took them, and fair enough, you know, they were there. Whether Meghan paid a fan to take the pictures or it happened to be a fan, I don't know. But one of them, Meghan was sort of staring out of a window, and it's the first time I've seen a photograph of her where I genuinely don't think she knew she was being photographed, or they just caught a moment. And what it said to me was she was thinking, how have I made such a mess of things? How has it got to here? I could be wrong. And obviously you guys can't see the photo, and I can't put the link because I don't have Instagram. I don't even know how to use it. But I guess they'll be probably top if you do have Instagram. Go on and search Meghan and Harry at Beyonce concert. And their body language was not cosy, not at all. I mean, Harry's face just said a million words. He's sick of her. He agreed. This is what I believe. This is my personal opinion. I think he agreed to go and do that rather pathetic photo shoot at the Beyonce concert to cushion the blow, because Invictus just, I think they think she's toxic. Now, I'm not saying she's not going to go to Invictus, because she might. I don't know. Trust me, I don't have contacts with anybody. Not in the royal family, not PR, not with Meghan's team, Harry's. I don't have any contact. Listen, I just watch. So I'm a viewer, and I'm judging them on their own PR. Maybe she will go to the Invictus. I have no idea. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if she didn't. Maybe the omission of the 2022 games on the website is a pure error. Someone hit delete by mistake. I mean, that's a hell of an error. That is a hell of an error. Which brings me to another point. If any of you guys out there know any Invictus contestants or people who are having struggles of a similar nature, please encourage them to start their own YouTube channel and tell us, because I, for one, would be interested. I looked up the synopsis of Heart of Invictus. Apparently it features 6 contestants and Harry. Well, I'm sure their stories are brilliant and inspirational, but I would have thought there's more than 6 contestants, isn't there? So if you are a contestant or you are someone who has struggles like that, start a YouTube channel, and although this is a very small channel, I will give you a shout out and pump those channels so that people can see unedited how you want to present a story, the things that you want to put across. In this day and age, who needs Netflix? Unfortunately, YouTube, of course, has gone astray once or twice, but on the whole, I'm sticking with it. I think YouTube, I've always loved YouTube, and I think they will correct the wrongs eventually of the way they go about things. Right, now, I made a lot of notes today. So, yep, I've covered all of that. And I've covered all of that. Now, just so we've got some facts, and I mean, I'm assuming these are correct because they're from the UK government website. So it's called Invictus Games Foundation. Their company number is 09318784. They have 14 officers, 4 of which have resigned over time, which is quite normal, directors, who are Charles Lamb Allen, Lord Allen of Kensington, Karen Sarah Briggs, John James Chalmers, Jonathan David Edwards, Dr. David Peter Henson, Deborah Ann Jevons, Edward Lane Fox, Patrick Guy Nicol, Melanie Jane Richards, and Connie Martina Wilhelmina Maria Wenting. And the resigned ones are Teresa Lynn Miller, Sir Keith Edward Mills, John Guy Elmhurst Monson, and Mary Margaret Riley. So that's factual. That's the current information on Companies House. You can look this up yourself. And that's the limited by guarantee company part, and the charity one you can also look up, and it gives you a list of the trustees who are, I think, all the same people that I've just read out. There are 10 of them because it won't include the 4 resignation appointments. So no, and I don't think Netflix own a piece of any of those people or those organisations. And if it is the case, let's say I'm wrong and Netflix do own the rights to the 2022 Invictus Games, that's actually even worse. That's even worse, and I don't believe that's the case. I just can't believe that a registered charity would do that, would kowtow to an organisation, not even for sponsorship, because the participants and the contestants in these games, I mean, it's it's incredible, the journey that the struggles that they go through. My God, one of my biggest heroes has always been Douglas Bader, the famous World War II Spitfire pilot. And I've never admired him so much for being the Spitfire pilot as a double amputee. And he just would not let life defeat him. And he's very close to my heart. Mine and Graham's, Douglas Bader. Wonderful guy. If you've never heard of him, please look him up. It's actually spelt B-A-D-E-R, but pronounced Bader. He was a prisoner of war as well. The Nazis were just astonished by him. They were astonished. I know there have been stories out there about he was a bit of a bastard. Well, wouldn't you be if you were a double amputee? So these people, all the contestants, all the families, all that, they want to be recognised. They want to be included. Why are they not on that website? If anyone at Invictus Foundation Games is watching this and it is an error, please put back 2022. The fact that Meghan and Harry were there, if that's the reason that it was removed, okay, it's embarrassing, it's shameful. I'm sure Netflix feel like that right now. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that right now. And be warned, A-listers and Hollywood studios, be careful. Don't get tarnished, because whatever Meghan's like as a person, and none of us know her or met her, as a lot of sugars point out, her PR is catastrophic. And if you work for a PR company out there, or media, please don't gaslight the public. Just don't. Don't treat us like we're stupid. We might get things wrong. We are allowed to discuss things amongst each other. It's called free speech, exchange of ideas. Don't treat us like fools, because we're not buying into it. And all you're going to do is damage the product and the brand that you're selling. God, I hate that word. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for listening to my nonsense ramblings and bullshit. I add that disclaimer for what it's worth. Thank you very much for listening.